Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this year's digital edition of the Economic Ideas Forum. I'm Anna Nalivaiko, and I have the pleasure of guiding you through our 2 days event with extremely interesting and important discussions. The outbreak of the COVID-19 has resulted in the most uncertain global economic outlook in over a century. A decade of economic decline has been followed by a worldwide health pandemic. In this context, the purpose of the Economic Ideas Forum is to discuss Europe's potential and ability to fulfill a more geopolitical and coherent economic strategy on the global stage. And to adapt to the special circumstances created by the pandemic, we are bringing to you a fully digital EIF. During these 2 days, we will have a total of 4 panel discussions of the duration of 1 hour each to debate the most relevant topics at stake. You can follow today's 2 panels on the Martens Center Facebook page as well as YouTube. We also want to make this event as interactive as possible, so I do invite everyone who is watching online to participate. You can do so by using our hashtag EIF20 and leaving your questions on social media, and by answering polls and surveys for each panel on slido.com using the event code EIF20. We also want to thank our partners for making the digital EIF happen: AT&T, Google, Microsoft, and Sky. But let's open today's event, and for that, I'd like to pass the floor to the president of the Wilfried Martens Center for European Studies, Mikuláš Dzurinda, joining us from Bratislava. Good afternoon, President.
Good afternoon, Anna. Thank you very much for introducing me. Ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, welcome to the Economic Ideas Forum 2020. The conference belongs to the flagship events of the Wilfried Martens Center for European Studies, which 11th edition we are just launching. After Brussels, Helsinki, Dublin, London, Madrid, Bratislava, Paris, and Nicosia, we were supposed to go to Berlin this year. But with the coronavirus, everything is different. Therefore, for the first time, the Economic Ideas Forum is being broadcast live from our studio in Brussels, featuring a combination of in-person and online speakers. I am glad that the event takes place even under such difficult conditions. We all feel that we have to adapt ourselves to these new circumstances, but we are not allowed to resign. Real champions can seize any crisis as an opportunity. We try to do so as well. Right at the beginning, I would like to thank everyone who has contributed to make this conference happen, especially the Martens Center's communication and marketing team at the helm with the mastermind of the event, Margherita Movarelli. I would also like to thank our long-standing sponsors, as Anna has already made. It is AT&T, Google, Microsoft, and Sky. My thanks to all moderators of the conference, the EPP President and the former President of the European Council, Donald Tusk, a number of the members of the European Parliament, the representatives of the European politics, as well as the national parliaments members, the representatives of business, but also research and academia for their participation and contribution. I am glad the conference participants will also be reached out to by the EPP Secretary General and the member of the European Parliament, Antonio López Istúriz White. Dear friends, the topics of the Economic Ideas Forum 2020 reflect the key global challenge of these days, the coronavirus pandemic. We gather in the period of the new wave of its culmination. In time when, due to the COVID-19, people die, Countries are closing different production facilities, but also schools, theaters, operas, or sport arenas. When we are all waiting for the emergence and arrival of an effective vaccine, when we struggle to protect our health, but also our jobs, there is no doubt protection of health and human lives, as well as the jobs, represent the key challenges of these days. Aware of these natural, existential priorities, we also understand the need to perceive current challenges in a broader context, because they are and will remain urgent in the medium and long term. It is mainly the environment and the global trade affected by China's reluctance to level playing field and treat foreign investors fairly. It is also protectionist policy of the United States and its leaning to adopt unilateral decisions, including tax imposition on some sensitive commodities. The rapid technological development at the helm with artificial intelligence represents another monumental challenge of our times. The impact of automation, robotization, and artificial intelligence on our labor market, social mobility, but also educational systems, and at the end, on our everyday life is and will be immense. This is why we want to pay attention to these topics today and tomorrow as well. Ladies and gentlemen, if you would ask experts, but also people on the streets in our villages and cities today, what challenge or issue, in addition to health protection, matters the most in these days, the answer would be obvious by my mind. This is protection of the existing jobs and creation the new ones. Until now, people in general used to see the jobs opportunities wherever possible or available. We have been able and ready to travel for a job, even to change our residence. The basic paradigm so far was you had to move for a job, otherwise a job will not get to you. Or at best, the governments provided large corporations with different incentives, such as tax holidays or subsidies on a created working place, etc. Now, being confronted with both technological advances and the pandemic, we have to change this paradigm and go the other way around. We need to get jobs to our households. Politics must quickly respond to this change of labor paradigm. Kurzarbeit is fine, but only temporarily. The resources are limited, and coronavirus will stay with us longer, as experts indicate. So we need to promote perspective, sustainable investments, reflecting above-mentioned change of paradigm. We need to promote new, innovative approach to the job creation. I believe the most topical challenge of our times is digitalization. The Future of Jobs Report 2020 of the World Economic Forum from October 2020, it means a very fresh one, says that the future of work has already arrived. 48% employers are set to rapidly digitalize working processes, including a significant expansion of remote work, with the potential to move 44% of their workforce to operate remotely. If so, the message is clear. also for politics. We need to build a technical infrastructure on one side and accommodate education and retraining on the other side. In my time, when promoting these structural reforms, we used to say, people should be given fishing hooks, not fishes. Today, I tend to paraphrase this slogan. People should be given a computer, high-speed internet connection, and training. And not only current employees, but also children from poor families, people in the regions with high unemployment, people along our borders and in countryside. It means that the Recovery Fund and new budget for 2021-2027 should be mainly used for a powerful transmission network and a fast internet building, for computerization of our households and increase of our digital literacy. The above-mentioned World Economic Forum's report says that the most competitive businesses will be those that choose to reskill and upskill current employees. I believe politics should help these companies. And therefore, I am really glad that one of our 4 panels is dedicated to digitalization. My dear friends, I realize the topics which we plan to discuss today and tomorrow should be framed into a broader context. The world is changing very fast. We face not only the pandemic, we need not only to protect our environment, to create new jobs in time of the 4th industrial revolution, but we also need to increase our security and ability to defend ourselves, to increase our authority and respect towards the EU. Only then we can stabilize our neighborhood, to cope with illegal immigration, to solve frozen conflicts, and to prevent new ones. To do all this will be very costly. Growing indebtedness will require sooner or later to prepare the process of fiscal consolidation, which will be lengthy and painful. If we want to succeed, we need to promote deep structural reform of our national economies, but we also need strong leadership and better governance at the communitarian level. But more about that next time at a different platform. I'm noticing that now, just to demonstrate the need to move about our net, about digitalization, and about the new technological trends in the broadest context. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your attention, but even more for your loyalty and togetherness. The Wilfried Martens Center for European Studies appreciates a lot your commitment and long-standing support. I wish you all good health, meaningful jobs, and inspiring debates during the 11th edition of the Economic Ideas Forum. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, President, for your inspiring and encouraging words.